You're eating vegetables every day thinking you're doing everything right. But what if I told you that some of them are taking away your strength, disrupting your sleep, and even harming your bones? Yes, it seems absurd, but it's true. There are a lot of people eating well, striving to take care of their health and still feeling pain in their legs, unusual tiredness, and even difficulty sleeping. And you know what's worse? Often the problem is coming exactly from those foods that we have learned all our lives, that were the healthiest. You're not getting weak by chance. It's not age that's bringing you down. It's what you're putting on the plate. After 50, the body changes. What used to be good can now become inflamed. It can swell. It can make you slower, more sore, more tired. And there are 5 vegetables, in particular, that are silently sabotaging you, and you can't even imagine. Maybe you're eating one of them for dinner, thinking you're doing it right, but he's taking away your energy. And that's why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what these 5 vegetables are that you need to stop eating, and what to put in place to get back to having more energy, less pain, and more real health for real. Stay with me until the end, because this simple change can be the missing step for you to feel better in your body and go back to living more lightly. And best of all, you don't have to make radical changes. They are simple, conscious adjustments that respect your time and your body. So if this type of guidance makes sense to you, take advantage of it and subscribe here to the channel. That way you don't miss out on any content that can transform the way you eat and take care of your health. Now, let's get straight to the point. The first vegetable on the list is an old acquaintance, but it may be taking calcium out of your bones without you realizing it. The first vegetable on the list is eggplant. Yes, the eggplant that many people believe to be an ally of health. And indeed it has benefits, but when used in the wrong way and with exaggerated frequency, it can become a serious problem, especially for those over 50. Eggplant is rich in solanine, a natural substance present in some plants of the nightshade family, as well as tomatoes and potatoes. In excess, this substance can cause inflammation in the body, joint pain, and even aggravate problems such as arthritis. If you have been feeling discomfort in your joints, stiffness in the morning, a feeling that you are stuck, perhaps the answer is there, in this food that seems harmless, but which has been contributing to increase the internal inflammatory process. Many people who follow us report exactly that, pain that does not go away even with a balanced diet. And when they removed eggplant from everyday life and replaced it with lighter vegetables such as zucchini or chayote, they noticed a significant improvement. This is not magic. It is biology. After 50, the body no longer reacts in the same way. He becomes more sensitive to inflammatory stimuli. And each small food choice, which previously went unnoticed, now has a direct impact on your mood, your sleep, and, above all, your mobility. The second trap comes in the form of a salad. That very red tomato, beautiful, juicy. Tomatoes also belong to the nightshade family, and as such have the same solanine that can aggravate joint pain. In addition, tomatoes are acidic, and this acidity can directly affect those who already suffer from reflux, gastritis, or stomach sensitivity. Have you ever noticed that when you eat tomato salad for dinner, you feel a certain discomfort at night? That silent heartburn that wakes you up, or that broken, restless sleep? That's that. This may not just be day-to-day stress or an age problem. It could be whatever you're putting on your plate, especially at night. And the important detail, we are not demonizing food here. What we are doing is looking at them responsibly, with the eyes of those who understand that the body changes after 50. What used to be good can now provoke different reactions. And that goes for our third vegetable on the list, bell peppers. Bell peppers are colorful, rich in antioxidants, but they are also highly indigestible to much of the mature population. Its high content of insoluble fiber and its thick peel make digestion more difficult, especially for those who already have some degree of digestive slowness, a very common condition after 50. It is not uncommon to hear reports of people who, after a meal with peppers, felt abdominal discomfort, bloating, gas, and even headaches. This poor digestion creates an inflammatory environment, and all of this, accumulated, can generate not only gastrointestinal discomfort, but also a drop in energy, a feeling of heaviness, and that constant malaise that seems to have no reason. And you may be thinking, but I've always eaten peppers. I've never had a problem. And I understand. But if today you feel your body slower, your intestine less efficient, if fatigue appears more easily, it may be time to review these eating routines. Bell peppers can be one of the silent villains that are draining your vitality without you realizing it. And the fourth vegetable? This is, without a doubt, one of the most controversial. I'm talking about the English potato, a classic of Brazilian food. Boiled, roasted, pureed, or even fried. Even if we avoid it, it appears in many dishes. Potatoes have a high glycemic index. This means that it releases sugar very quickly into the bloodstream. And for those over 50, this type of reaction in the body can be devastating, especially for those who already deal with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes. Frequent consumption of potatoes can generate glucose peaks that, in addition to increasing the risk of metabolic diseases, favor systemic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of healthy aging. It affects the joints, the brain, the heart. It could be what's behind your constant fatigue, difficulty concentrating, persistent knee pain, or swelling when you wake up. Replacing potatoes with roots with less glycemic impact, such as sweet potatoes or yams, already brings visible relief in a few weeks. These are small choices, but they add up to create an eating routine that respects your body and your stage of life. And now we come to the fifth vegetable. This perhaps is the most surprising for many people, the raw onion. Yes, onions are full of beneficial compounds when used correctly, but their raw version can be an inflammatory trigger for those who already have digestive sensitivities. This is because, when raw, onions release sulfurous compounds that ferment more easily in the intestine, especially in people with an imbalance in the intestinal flora, a very common scenario after the age of 50. Result? Gas, bloating, abdominal pain, and even reflux. In addition, this fermentation unbalances the microbiota, which can generate a cascade of problems, including a drop in immunity and difficulty in absorbing essential nutrients, such as calcium, magnesium, and iron. All of this directly affects your mood, your physical endurance, and even your mental health. And it is no exaggeration to say that this small detail in the everyday salad can be responsible for that tiredness that does not go away, that insomnia that insists on coming back, or that feeling of being a little stuck all the time. What you need to understand is that after 50, eating well is not just a matter of quantity or eating salad. It is a question of quality, of intelligent choices. To observe how your body reacts to each food, even those that have been considered healthy all their lives. That's what strategic food is all about. It is to understand that your health today depends less on what you are not doing, and more on what you continue to do thinking it is right. And that's why this video is so important, because no one's telling you that. Most of the advice you find out there still repeats ready-made formulas, which do not consider the reality of the mature body, slower digestion, the need for specific nutrients, and the real risk that certain foods present at this stage of life. So stay with me, because in the next step I'm going to show you exactly what to put in place of these vegetables. It's not about cutting everything. It's about consciously replacing it. Make choices that will relieve pain, restore your energy, and return the well-being that you may not even remember how it was. You deserve it. And it all starts with the next spoon you bring to your mouth. Now that you know which vegetables most compromise your health after 50, it's time to bring relief. Because it is not enough to know what to avoid. The real power lies in knowing exactly what to put in its place, what really nourishes, strengthens, regenerates. And yes, there is a list of vegetables that are true allies of health after 50. These are foods that work as a natural remedy, helping to reduce inflammation, improve intestinal transit, protect joints, and even bring more mental clarity. Let's start with kale. Kale, simple and affordable, is one of the richest vegetables in essential nutrients for those who want to keep their bones strong and their immunity up to date. It is rich in magnesium, calcium, vitamin K, and antioxidant compounds that help fight free radicals. And what does this mean in practice? It means that it helps protect your bones against loss of density, something so common in postmenopause, for example, and also helps to reduce the chronic inflammation that silently accumulates in the body. If you experience joint pain or have already been diagnosed with osteopenia or osteoporosis, know that including kale on your plate can make more of a difference than many supplements out there. And here's a precious detail. Cooked cabbage is even easier to digest. A light sauté with olive oil and garlic preserves most of the nutrients and facilitates absorption. In addition, when combined with a source of good fat, such as olive oil, the vitamin K present in it is better used by the body. And this vitamin is essential for cardiovascular and bone health. What many people don't realize is that over the years, the body's ability to absorb certain nutrients decreases. Therefore, it is essential to combine the right foods to ensure that each nutrient reaches where it needs to be. Another vegetable that comes in here with full force is pumpkin, and here anyone goes. Kabocha pumpkin Japanese. Pumpkin is a real balm for those who suffer from slow digestion, constipation, or a tendency to inflammation. It is rich in soluble fiber that helps regulate the intestine without causing irritation. In addition, it is loaded with beta-carotene, which the body transforms into vitamin A, essential for skin health, vision, and especially for the regeneration of intestinal mucous membranes. And when the intestine works well, the whole body feels the reflexes. Fewer toxins circulating in the blood, less swelling, more disposition, and even improved mood. And the most interesting thing about pumpkin is that it is naturally sweet, which helps reduce the craving for sugary desserts. For those over 50 years old who want to control their blood glucose or simply eat in a more balanced way, it is a great ally. A pumpkin puree at dinner can calm down, bring satiety, and even help you sleep better, as it contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps in the production of serotonin, the feel-good hormone. And since we're talking about regulating the intestine and calming the body, you can't leave out chayote. Yes, he himself, who for years was unfairly called dull. But the truth is that chayote is extremely light, easily digestible, and ideal for those who live struggling with fluid retention and a feeling of bloating. Rich in water, low in calories, it is excellent for composing lighter evening meals, helping to ensure a better quality sleep. In addition, it contains potassium, a mineral that helps balance blood pressure, something that should always be on the radar of those over 50. And don't think that chayote needs to be tasteless. When seasoned well with fresh herbs, a drizzle of olive oil, and a pinch of sea salt, it gains flavor and makes for a functional and enjoyable meal. The secret is to prepare the vegetables carefully, respecting their cooking times and combining them with ingredients that enhance their benefits. Now, if you're looking for something that helps give you energy, improve circulation, and even protect your brain, broccoli is a must. It is a cruciferous vegetable from the same family as kale and has powerful compounds such as sulforaphane, which act directly in the prevention of cellular aging. In other words, broccoli helps keep the brain more active, the immune system more efficient, and the body less inflamed. This impacts everything: memory, agility, physical endurance, and even your emotional response to everyday stress. And most importantly, broccoli has a balanced amount of fiber that helps improve intestinal transit without causing gas or discomfort, as long as it is well cooked. If you usually feel stuffed after meals, it's worth trying lighter versions, such as steamed it, or even in the oven with a touch of olive oil and garlic. Small adjustments in the way you prepare them can transform the way your body reacts to these foods. Another vegetable that deserves to be highlighted is carrots. It is also a source of beta-carotene, fiber, B vitamins, and minerals such as phosphorus and potassium. And you know that eye strain, that vision that blurs throughout the day? Carrots directly help with this. Not only because of vitamin A, but because, by improving eye health, it also brings a sense of clarity, of focus, and, in addition, it helps to keep the skin firm, fighting the sagging so common after 50. Carrots can be cooked, used in soups, roasted, and even juiced with other functional ingredients. And the best, it regulates the intestine without harming, unlike many raw vegetables that, despite being popular, cause excessive fermentation in those who already have a more sensitive digestive system. And here, what all these vegetables have in common is just that. They are functional, light, easy to prepare, and still have a real impact on health. They are ideal for the mature audience because they respect the rhythm of the body in this new phase of life. They do not irritate the stomach, do not inflame the joints, do not cause glucose spikes. On the contrary, they bring balance, regulate the body, and promote clean energy, the one that does not come from coffee, sugar, or stimulants, but from within, from the body itself functioning as it should. And if you've come this far, it's because you really care about your health. And the good news is that this care starts with something you can change today. What goes on your plate? The choice is yours, every day. And the more conscious these choices are, the more your body will thank you. But there is still a very important step to go. Now that you know the foods you need to avoid and the ones you can adopt with more confidence, it's time to understand how to organize these choices in your daily life. How to put together simple, practical, and functional meals that fit into your routine and really make a difference in your energy, your mood, your mobility. And it is precisely at this point that many people stop. They even know what they should eat, understand which foods to avoid, recognize the symptoms they are experiencing, but they get stuck when it comes to applying all this on a daily basis. They don't know where to start, they feel lost in the face of so much loose information, and in the end, they end up going back to old habits, those that are precisely sabotaging their health. So, now what I want is to take you by the hand and show you that it is possible, yes, to transform your eating routine with small, accessible steps that make sense for you, for your body, for your reality. And before continuing, I want to make you a sincere invitation. If this content is helping you, if you feel welcomed here, if you have finally found a space where someone speaks your language, with respect and without fuss, subscribe to the channel now. Not only so we don't miss the next videos, but because here we build a path together, and everything I bring to you is thought out with affection, based on science, and above all, in real life, in your reality, which deserves attention, care, and dignity. The truth is that, after 50, you can no longer live on autopilot, eating what everyone else eats, following generic diets, listening to random advice that wasn't made for you. All this only increases your tiredness, your pain, your frustration. What your body needs now is personalized attention. You need foods that nourish without harming, meals that bring energy instead of sucking what you have. And more than that, you need to feel able to put this into practice. No hassle, no magic formulas, only with real guidance, welcoming, and the right step-by-step. And do you know what the first step is? It is listening. Listen to what your body is saying. The pain that appears when you wake up, the bloating that comes after dinner, the sleep that is never deep, the energy that goes away in the middle of the afternoon. These are all signs. Your body is trying to show you that it needs help. And what I do here is help you translate these signs, to look at them with the seriousness they deserve. Because no pain is normal. No fatigue is of age. No loss of mobility should be accepted as something natural. You can change that. And it starts now, because you have already taken a huge step by staying here with me. And that already shows that you're ready. Ready to do it differently. And you don't have to do it alone. Here you have a safe space where you can comment, ask, share your story. And more than that, here you will find a community of people who, like you, are tired of empty promises and want truth, simplicity, and real results. So right here in the comments, which of these vegetables do you consume the most in your daily life? Which one did you think was good? And if you want to receive a list of healthy substitutions to include in your meals, write the word list below. That way I'll know that you want to continue on this journey with me, and I'll send you complete, practical, straight to the point content, with everything you need to start right now to change your diet consciously and effectively. What's more, if you know someone, your mother, father, an uncle, a friend, who is already feeling the effects of the wrong diet, share this video with them. It may be just what this person needs to take the first step. Sometimes it's simple information, the right word at the right time, that changes everything. And you can be that bridge. You can be the conduit through which the transformation begins. And why does it matter so much? Because health after 50 is an asset. Something that needs to be protected with intelligence, with strategy. You can no longer afford to follow fads, to live on assumptions. Every food that enters your body now needs to have a purpose. It needs to build, regenerate, strengthen. No more eating out of habit, on impulse, or because it's always been like this. Now it's time to do it differently, to take care of your body as it deserves. And this care does not have to be complex. Often, he starts with simple decisions. Change the vegetable that ignites for one that soothes. Cook more lightly. Pay attention to the combination of foods. Eat at the right time. Listen to the body. And above all, remember that you deserve to feel good. He deserves to wake up in a good mood, walk without pain, sleep in peace. And all of this really starts on the plate. Therefore, I invite you once again, write here in the comments what caught your attention the most in this video. What change are you willing to make today? What old habit are you ready to leave behind? I read everything, I respond whenever I can, and many of the next videos are born from these conversations. Because this is not a monologue, it is a space for exchange. It's a place where your story matters, where your pain is recognized and your health is respected. And if you haven't signed up yet, do so now. I don't want you to miss out on what's next. Because in the next videos, we will talk about foods that help rebuild muscle mass, fight flaccidity, clean the intestine, and strengthen bones. All based on science, but explained in a simple, practical way, and designed especially for you who are over 50 and want to live with quality, with freedom, with vitality. And remember, taking care of your diet is not about restriction. It's about liberation. It's about leaving behind what no longer serves you and making room for what strengthens you, for what gives you back the lightness, the spirit, the confidence in your own body. You don't have to accept tiredness as part of life. You can flip that key. And the turning point begins with information, with awareness, with the right choices. One meal at a time. Now take a deep breath, look at your day, and choose differently. Your health will thank you. Your body responds. And your life starts again. Lighter, stronger, more yours. And now that you are clear about the vegetables you should avoid, about the foods that really work for your body after 50, and about how to start a transformation from the inside out, it's time to take a step further, consolidate this new lifestyle. And this goes far beyond what is on the plate. It is a shift in consciousness, a turning point that starts when you decide you deserve more energy, more mobility, more freedom. And do you know what the next step is? It's keeping that journey alive every day. Because healthcare is a continuous process. It's not about making everything perfect. It's about choosing, with care and constancy, what builds your vitality in the long term. That's why, if you haven't subscribed here to the channel yet, this is the time. Not because I'm asking for it, but because this space was made for you. Because here, you will find information with responsibility, guidelines based on the reality of your body, your routine, your challenges. No magic formulas. No miraculous promises. Here is real life. It is health after 50 with clarity, empathy, and true results. And when you sign up, you commit to this new path. You remind yourself every day that you have a place where someone talks to you, not about you. And I want to make you a special invitation now. When this video is over, I want you to go to the channel and choose one more content to watch. Maybe the video about the foods that are affecting your memory without you realizing it. Or the one where I explain why certain vitamins, which seem harmless, are destroying your joints. Or, who knows, the video that talks about the common breakfast mistake that accelerates brain aging. All of these videos were created with you in mind, in your well-being, in their autonomy, in his desire to live with more quality, more presence, more strength. And more than watching, I want you to participate. This channel is not a place where I speak alone. It's a community, a space for real exchange, where your experience, your doubt, your story make a difference. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these vegetables surprised you the most? Which one did you use to eat thinking it was helping, and now you realize that it may be harming you? Right here in the comments. Your answer can be the starting point for the next video. It can help other people who are experiencing the same doubt, and it can further strengthen this space that is ours. And if you're wondering if it's really worth writing, I'll tell you for sure. It's worth it. Because every comment here isn't just a response, it's a seed you plant, a choice that reinforces your commitment to your own health. And yes, I read them all. And many of the videos you see here were born from these sincere conversations, from this genuine exchange that only exists when we see ourselves as people, as equals. Because I know that many times you have tried everything. You've heard too much advice. He has already been frustrated too much, but here you have someone who is on your side, who studies, who prepares, and who speaks to you with the same respect that he would like to receive. So let's make this channel grow together. If you know someone who is also at this stage of life, who feels pain, who is tired of living feeling heavy, inflamed, without energy, send this video to that person. Share it with your group of friends, with your family, with that neighbor who keeps complaining of pain in his legs. Sometimes all he needs is a video like this to start understanding what's going on. And you can be that channel. You can be the beginning of change in someone's life. And I know it's easy to leave it for later. We think, I'll comment later. Then I sign up. Then I'll watch another video. But this after, many times, will never come, and you no longer deserve to postpone your care. So do it now. Click to subscribe. Activates the bell. Choose one more video to watch next, and leave your answer here in the comments. Which of these vegetables surprised you the most today? I want to know what moved you. Which made you think? What are you ready to change? And if you want a practical list with suggestions for healthy meals for those over 50, with simple and affordable substitutions, write "list" here in the comments. So I understand that you want to continue delving into this content, and I prepare something even more complete for you. Because I believe that, in content that empowers you, that teaches you, that gives you autonomy, so that you can make choices without fear, safely, clearly. You don't have to accept what time is trying to take. You can choose. You can react. It can transform. And I'm here to remind you of that. Every day. With every video. With every word. With every guidance you deserve to receive. Your health matters. Your story matters. And your body still has a lot to live for. It just needs to be heard. It just needs to be taken care of. So, let's go together. Sign up, comments, shares, and it's still with me, because there's a lot more to come. And I want to see you firm, strong, and with a new glow in your eyes, feeling on your skin that there is still time. It always does, because as long as there is a will, there is a way. And your path starts now.